My project is Nepalese Embassy in Canberra. The Nepalese Embassy in Canberra, which takes place in a residential building, was in actual need for expansion to fit the growing numbers of visitors and tasks, especially after the rapid growth of Nepalese people in Australia since last 10 years. The project aims to solve an existing functional need in a sustainable approach, make a strong political relationship between Australia and Nepal, as well as proposing a new way of presenting diplomatic architecture with a welcoming image by combining Nepalese and Australian architecture. The purple has denotes the embassy designated area separated by Australian government. The site is located at planned designated act area, 15 Arcana Street, Yarralumla Act, Canberra, Australia. The site is linked to one main road, Arcana Street. Site functions as a shortcut to public. The site is facing Embassy of Spain at northern, whereas residential area at the southern side. The concept started off from a simple concept of mandala, where the outer ring represents the boundary of expanding universe and the central represents the state of creation or space itself. Being inspired from mandala, following the same principle, the proposed conceptual building acts as a boundary representing Nepalese architecture, which binds the central space as a landscape representing Australian architecture. Here, I'm trying to show the fusion of nature and typical Nepalese architecture through the concept. The design process is carried out by conclusion of site analysis with zoning, public zone, semi-public zone, and private zone, with setback, primary access, secondary access, emergency exit, pavement, and landscape. The site plan is briefed as main embassy entrance, ambassador for representatives and embassy guests, where embassy garden acts as formal private events with limited access, and diplomats gardens as a recreational space. Chancery, where the main office works happens with visa processing, pickup, and other operation functions. Also, the ambassador's office, main office work as central linking with the ambassador's residence. Consulate's garden functions. Embassy employs direct access through multipurpose hall, security post, and public entrance, also with minimum setback of 5 meter safe distance setback. In order to avoid the maximum use of surface parking, basement is designed. Basement 1 for office purpose, whereas basement 2 for residence. The floor plans are designed according to the important and hierarchy: office, ambassador's residency, and diplomat's residency, whereas the first floor plan takes place as an office linking through the bridge with ambassador's residency, again linking through the bridge towards the diplomat's residency. Here is the sectional cut through sectionate AA and sectionate BV from main entrance to the emergency exit via to the cutting through the site from basement level, ground floor level, first floor level, and roof plan. The several design processes have been done through different phases. So number one is security. Since Australia has no issue to terror attack, a simple boundary with stone cladding is provided with the concept of openness, no barrier between public and the building. Number two, Nepalese architectural concept. The symmetrical composition of a traditional building as a collection of living spaces connected by a veranda loop using typical Nepalese architectural elements such as tham, wooden pillar, sazia, wooden window, and number three, landscape. A composition of a beautiful circular garden at the center trying to represent Australian landscape architecture by its unique features such as stone, water bodies, and Australian native trees. Talking about the materials, white paint finish in contrast to brick cladding, and brick cladding as a building material responding to the Canberra climate. The picture 1 represents the orientation facing north for maximum sunlight. Picture 2 represents the relationship between building and central garden. Picture 3 represents the provision of rainwater collection and reuse from Abe's gutter into the rainwater tank below water bodies in the central garden. And the picture number 4 represents the provision of window in such a way that it can be observed from ambassador's office. And finally, the picture 5 represents the horizontal reverse to avoid direct sunlight. Thank you.